Welcome to Words of Wisdom, Gyan Ganga of our Virat Hindustan Sangam social media channel. As usual, we are there at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time with Dr. Subramanian Swamy and our guests. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Anupam Kher ji, and the topic is Kashmiri Hindus, the tragedy and solution. For the benefit of our viewers, I will just give you a very brief introduction, although he doesn't need an introduction. Mr. Anupam Kher, to be precise, today or this month completes 36 years in the entertainment world with his first release of his movie Saransh on 25th May 1984. And in this 36 years, he has been an actor on the Indian stage, on the international stage, a director, producer, and has written many plays. He has also been the former chairman of the Film and Television Institute of India. He has been awarded numerous national awards and numerous Filmfare awards, and his roles are memorable in all these films he has done, and it has been a great entertainment for the last 36 years. Besides acting in film, he has been the voice on many issues which are there in our country, and it is a privilege to have Sri Anupam Kherji in our program for the benefit of our viewers. With these remarks, I would now request Dr. Swamy to make his introductory remarks on Kashmiri Hindus and the tragedy and solution. And with this, we welcome Dr. Swamy and Anupam Kherji once again to our program and for our important episode. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jagdish. Welcome to Anupam Kher, and we are all delighted to have you here. And your clear expressions have won the hearts of our entire Hindu community in the whole of India, leave alone Kashmir. So today we have said the topic is a tragedy of the Kashmiri Hindus. A Hindu is defined in the constitution as those who are not. This is Article 25, and there's a proviso that those who are not Muslims or Christians or Parsis, they are Hindus. This is how the constitution has defined, which means that Jains, Buddhists, Sikhs are also included in the term Hindu, and which was probably the correct. The earlier use of the word was Hindu. It's unfortunately got very specific, but in Kashmir we do have Sikhs, we do have Buddhists. And so, therefore, it is a correct thing to title it as Kashmiri Hindus. Now, however, the magnitude of atrocities suffered in the Kashmir Valley in the late 80s and most of 90s is the Kashmiri Pandit community. And they were targeted for a specific reason, which I'll come to in a moment. But let me also say Kashmir means inclusive of POK and Gilgit and Baltistan or whatever. And we include all parts of Ladakh, which now has been separated, but all parts of Ladakh which are not presently in the control of Indian forces. So what is the issue that we are really zeroing in is I would not call as the tragedy of Kashmiri Hindus. I'll call it the genocide that was carried out in Kashmir. And it was by all definitions of genocide which I've studied, which is internationally accepted, this is a clear case of genocide. And therefore, genocide should get much speedier justice and more severe punishments for those who committed this genocide. But unfortunately, we have just dragged it along, and it's time for us for the new generation of politicians to get cracking and see that this injustice is compensated by proper measures, and those who are responsible are brought to book. The second thing I would like to mention is that originally the whole of Kashmir and that includes Jammu and Ladakh, was Hindu. And the advent of Islam was much later. And therefore, the second factor is that you have been, the Kashmiri Pandits in particular, and the Sikhs, of course, and the Buddhists, have been driven out of what was historically their homeland. It's not that somebody came and settled like the whites came to America and ejected the Red Indians, and the whites came to Australia and ejected the Aborigines there, etc. It is a case of a highly cultured community which was driven out by sheer brutality, and therefore it is something which should have attracted the international attention, but because of the governments of India in the past, it was not done. So now we are going to accelerate this, just as we promised that we'll remove 370. Everybody said it's impossible, and there are so many bogus constitutional reasons. All of them were torn apart in the parliamentary debate, and now 370 is gone. And Kashmir and Jammu are now one state, presently union territory, but it's not ruled out in the future there will be a full state. And so is Ladakh. Ladakh is quite happy being a union territory. So the historical facts of what Kashmir is in Nilamata Purana. And generally speaking, from childhood, even I was brought up by my mother telling me that Kashmir belongs to our family because we are Kashyapa Gotra, and it was Rishi Kashyap who dried the well and reduced it to the size of Dal Lake, and out of that the Kashmir land came. So its origin also is traceable to our Puranas and to our Rishis. So this is something which everybody should know. It is not Kashmir that the Kashmiri Pandits or the Kashmiri Hindus are foreigners there, just because the Muslim population is majority in that limited part, not in Jammu, not in Ladakh. So let that be very clearly understood by people. Now, the issue also is how did this problem start? The problem started after, at the earliest lighting of the candle, so to speak, started when Sheikh Abdullah, after serving 17 years in jail, surrendered. People don't like the term in Kashmir, but I'm telling you, he said he will agree to so many of the conditions which he may not afterwards have implemented, but he agreed to that if he is made the chief minister, then he will see that the integration of Kashmir with India is carried out fully. The birth of JKLF and other militant organizations began with that. And of course, it took time for them to grow. And Sheikh Abdullah was not doing something out of his own mind. The Constituent Assembly of Jammu Kashmir, specially set up by our National Constituent Assembly, gave a report in 1957 that created a constitution, the separate Kashmir constitution, which is now suspended. I mean, it is now obliterated, in which the first line is Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. So the 1957 itself, it was made very clear. There's no mention of Article 370 in that constitution, the Jammu Kashmir separate constitution. And that was supposed to be a temporary constitution, and now, of course, it has been deleted, so the matter is over. But I would like to say this, that we must recognize that it was after it became clear that the process of integration of Kashmir is now going to become seriously, that this militancy was being developed, and it was fanned by Pakistan, and slowly it grew, and by 1989 it started taking shape. The first incident, which was directly connected with terrorizing the Kashmiri Pandit community and the Sikhs and so on, to drive them out of the valley, was on September 14th, 1989, when the JKLF killed a BJP leader and advocate called Tika Lal Taplu, and in broad daylight, and that started the feeling of fear in the Kashmiri Hindu community. The second step was Judge Neela Kant Ganju, who was a judge in the JK High Court. He was killed because he gave a judgment that Maqbul Bhatt should be hanged. And therefore, the JKLF targeted him and killed him in broad daylight near the court. The third incident which triggered further fear was on December 4th, 1989, and that was the JKLF kidnapped Mufti's daughter, and as a deal, got 5 terrorists released from jail. In my opinion, because of our Chandrasekhar's government came after VP Singh's government, so I had an occasion to study the files because Chandrasekhar gave me the task of rescuing the daughter of Saifuddin Soz, and therefore I had the liberty to look at these files, and I was something very suspicious about the kidnapping of Mufti's daughter. But in any case, the outcome was 5 dreaded terrorists in jail were released in exchange. Now, on 4th this January 1990, for the first time, newspapers started printing advertisements of JKLF, Hizbul Mujahideen, asking the Kashmiri Hindus to leave the state or die or become slaves. So this was in the first time it came in a paper called Aftab, and then another paper called Al Jaffa on 14th April 1990. And this indeed started encouraging the mob mentality also to start moving in this matter. A series of murders then took place which shocked the whole of Kashmir, and that was Satish Tiku near his house, who was a prominent citizen on 2nd February of 1990. Then Lassa Kaul, the station director of Doordarshan, on 19th February of the same year, 1990. And then Sarvanand Kaul Premi, a poet who had nothing to do with politics, he was brutally killed also. And all after that, posters came, "This is the fate you are facing." Now, there was a period when things were quiet, very small period, and that was from November 7th to June 16th of November 7th, 1990 to June 17, 1990, because Chandrasekhar government came to power. And I want to mention to you that when Saifuddin Soz's daughter was kidnapped in February 1991, I was given the task to see whether they had had demanded 2 specific dreaded terrorists to be released, and I told Chandrasekhar I will never agree to that. So he said, "Okay, then you do this and see how it's done." Saifuddin Soz may talk anything today, but those days he was nothing but tears. He was buckets of tears were being flown by shed by him. I felt sorry for him. He's a good friend of mine, but we used the techniques which, in my opinion, can be used today also, which required the assistance of a friendly country, whose name I will not give, but are very well known for fighting terrorism. And we got it all, got her not only released, JKLF themselves put her in an auto rickshaw and dropped her outside Saifuddin Soz's house without a single terrorist being released. And there was a message there. We made it clear that there will be no bargain with any terrorist under any circumstance. And on the contrary, one person released, there would be a retaliation of a magnitude which they'll regret. So, but after that, the process started again, and the kidnapping of women, Hindu women, posters putting, saying to the men, leave and leave your women behind, these kinds of things. And that's how the exodus started. And it's unbelievable that between 3 lakhs and 5 lakhs people had to leave their homes and go away. And that is a black mark on the patriotism of the whole of India, that we are unable to do anything so far. And therefore, this is the task that we have to now address ourselves. So I'll request our distinguished guest today, Mr. Kher, to tell us what he thinks is the way forward.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy,
Anupam,
first of all.
Anupamji, a small request from our viewers.
Yes.
If you think it appropriate, some of them are requesting if you can also speak to them in Hindi so that it's a larger reach, but I leave it to your wisdom.
No, no, of course, I think in Hindi, ji, so it will be easy for me to speak in Hindi. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. So thank you, Dr. Swamy, first of all, for inviting me on this platform. And thank you for giving such an elaborate introduction so that the today's generation understands what actually happened, because unfortunately, इतने सालों में इस पूरे कांड को दबाया गया है, छुपाया गया है, but by various kinds of people, but various political parties, by various media people, somehow or the other. And I'm glad that before this conversation, I was patiently listening and thinking and recalling what had happened. In my story today is the story of millions of people. So in 1948, when the Kabilis attacked and reached till Baramulla from Pakistan, जो हमारी फैमिली थी वो बारामुल्ला में रहती थी, कुछ श्रीनगर में रहते थे. My grandparents, my chacha, taya, my mother's side, they shifted because of the fear of this whole thing. Fear plays a very important role in terrorism. Even at that time, I thought it was terrorism what they did in 1948. And they had actually reached Baramulla, which is about 45 minutes, 1 hour from Srinagar. So they all shifted to Shimla. My parents shifted to Shimla in 1953, and that's where I was born. But my family from my father's side and my mother's side was always there. और मैं पढ़ा लिखा बड़ा हुआ शिमला में, मगर हर 2 महीने की गर्मियों की छुट्टी के लिए मैं कश्मीर से जुड़ा हुआ था, जाता रहता था. बिकॉज लोग जो हैं वो डिफेंसिव करने के लिए बोलते हैं आप तो कश्मीर में रहे ही नहीं. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो हिंदुस्तान में नहीं रहते हैं वो हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है.
मुझे भी नहीं बोलना चाहिए फिर.
हाँ, तो फिर तो कुछ भी नहीं बोलना चाहिए. तो मैं जब भी छुट्टियों में जाता था, इनफैक्ट हमारे करण नगर में मेरे मदर का साइड था, 84 करण नगर, जहाँ मुझे अभी भी याद है. तो उसके पास ही एक नेशनल स्कूल था जहाँ पर मैं जाता था और प्रेयर करता था कश्मीरी में. आई एम कश्मीरी स्पीकिंग कश्मीरी. But in the later years of my life, when I started going there, I discovered that people referring to Kashmir as a separate country. वो मुझे बोलते थे कि आप तो हिंदुस्तान से आए हैं. मुझे समझ में नहीं आता था, because when you grow up in a smaller town, आपकी समझ भी थोड़ी सी simpler होती है, innocent होती है. तो मैं कहता था ये क्यों बोलते हैं आप तो हिंदुस्तान से आए हैं या. बट धीरे धीरे मुझे महसूस होने लगा कि over a period of time that there is a disparity among certain people, even though I must say there were a lot of Muslim families around us who were nice to us and things like that. But in 86, I went there for the shooting of a film and I was in Pahalgam. Then I saw fear there. I felt fearful there. Before that, I used to feel uncomfortable that why are they calling it Hindustan, आपका country है, ये अलग country है. तब मुझे everybody who was wearing a shawl kind of a thing and looking at you suspiciously, not only because you're an actor, धीरे धीरे cinema halls बंद होने शुरू हुए. It was not culturally, it was demolished completely. And that's how people take over other places. They culturally finish it. They killed Lasakol because he was the All India Radio director. ये फिर stories आने लगी. और फिर मैं जब भी अपने मामा ताया चाचा से बात करता था, वो डरी डरी आवाज में विस्पर में बात करते थे. And then we started hearing the broad day killings of so many people. And what happened on 19th of January 1990, when millions of Muslims came onto the streets of Kashmir and went through the mosque, the loudspeakers से बोलने लगे कि कश्मीरी ब्राह्मणों पंडितों तुम निकल जाओ, अपनी बीवियों को छोड़कर जाओ, अपनी औरतों को छोड़कर जाओ, या लसिव गलिफ्त गलसलिव, जिसको कश्मीरी में था कि या तो रूजिव जहाँ या रुको यहाँ पर, या यहाँ हमारे साथ मिल जाओ, या फिर यहाँ से भाग जाओ. My maternal uncle was an overseer in Kashmir, and all his life he collected some money because his wife's dream was to build a house in Kashmir of their own. And I think in late 80s, they had managed to build a house with hard-earned money, with great difficulty, and this militancy started, and they started getting these letters that आप ये जगह छोड़ दीजिए. और मेरे मामी कहती थी कि हमने घर बनाया है, बड़ी मुश्किल से हमने यहाँ पर घर बनाया, हम क्यों जाएं छोड़कर यहाँ पर. और till one day the head of another Kashmiri Pandit was in their courtyard, and they had to put everything that was in a small Fiat car, whatever they had to run away from there. And that's how the exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits started, basically and the next day 400,000 people also ran away. Another thing, there was no care taken of these people. They were put into these refugee camps, in Jagati camps. They were sent to, thanks to Balasaheb Thackeray, he gave special things to the education of the people, but they all scattered all over the place. And the tragedy was that nobody talked about this exodus of 400 to 500,000 people. It was suppressed as if it never happened. And 30 years have passed, and they have been, just because this community is not violent by nature. This community depends on their own possibility of finding work. They're educated people. Just because they found that and they did that, did not mean they could have picked up guns. They could have done violence, because 1, 2, 10, 5,000 नहीं ले, 5 लाख लोग थे जिनको निकाल दिया गया था. मगर इस बात को बुलाया गया. There are prominent journalists who spoke, oh my God, Kashmiri Pandits were taking jobs of the Kashmiri Muslims.
My God.
That was Barkhadat.
Oh.
So there was you see, mind does not work in that manner. Now I am a little more aware of what happens behind these closed doors, how journalists are with parties, how other people are together, how the intellectuals work in a certain manner, how editors work in a certain manner, how the media and the intelligentsia are in our universities and everything like that. So, and then when this whole thing started, it was, when your soul is wounded, you do not know what to say. And as you rightly said, it was originally a Kashmiri Pandit place. Rishi Kashyap did that, and then how they were converted over the period of 1,000 years or whatever it is. Tulamula, which is Kheer Bhavani, which is the most sacred temple of ours, apart from the Shankaracharya up there, is surrounded by the army people. Is my house, which I used to go to in Karanagar, the last time I went there, the CRP was staying there. The Srinagar Kashmir Valley's soul is wounded, and people went all over the place. Not only that, they damaged the generations to come, their psyche. All older people who were used to a certain climate, they had to stay in these horrendous camps which did not have facilities. They either died of snake bites or scorpion bites, or fell sick, or lost their memories. There are so many videos circulating. I just shared one video recently where the old ladies are running away from their homes thinking that they will go back to their Kashmir. My mother herself constantly talks about where she has grown up, constantly talks about her days over there. And no government, I must say, did anything about it. There are thousands of stories about what happened, how did it happen, how this government did not do, that government did do. But truth is, it was always pushed under the rug. And in today's generation, today's people who are listening to this chat, जो ये बात सुन रहे हैं, जख्म भरते हैं, लेकिन उनको थोड़ा सा कुरे दो ना, तो जख्म में से पानी और खून और पीप वैसा ही निकलता है. Just because हमने बोलना बंद कर दिया है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि ये हादसे हुए नहीं. Just because हमारे साथ बाकी लोग नहीं जुड़ते हैं, but I'm people like you, thanks to people like you who have kept this alive, and thanks to this government who has abrogated this Article 370, which is the biggest democratic victory of any country, and for which सालों लग गए, मगर एक बहुत अच्छे तरीके से काफी घाव भरने में हमारी मदद हुई है. और आपकी बात मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी कि 1 लाख एक्स सेना के लोगों को वहां डाल देना चाहिए. मैंने पढ़ा, और उसके बाद कश्मीरी पंडितों को वहां बुलाना चाहिए. और ऊपर से ये जो जितने भी लोग इस तरह की फजूल की बेवकूफाना बातें करते हैं, गंदी बातें करते हैं कि हम लोग चले गए, हम लोग निकले नहीं, इसको कुछ लोग जेन्युइनली सच भी मानना चाहते हैं. कोई आज तक कोई राजनेता जगती कैंप में नहीं गया है, किसी ने उनका दर्द नहीं पूछा है, किसी ने उनके बारे में सिवाय आई डोंट नो टेक्निकली हाउ करेक्ट आई एम, बट सिवाय महाराष्ट्र के किसी भी कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी में उनके लिए अलग से स्टूडेंट्स के लिए परसेंटेज नहीं रखा था, ये इनको वहां से रखो. शांत चुप रहे मगर सहते रहे, दुख तो बर्बाद होते रहे. इसलिए जो अब ये चेंज आया है, और वो बार बार बोलते हैं यहाँ आर्मी क्यों है, और वो पत्थर वालों को जो है उनके बारे में, जो पत्थर फेंकते हैं उनके बारे में दर्द होता है लोगों को. जो एब्सोल्युटली टेररिस्ट अनाउंस हुए हैं, जो 93 के ब्लास्ट के लोगों के जो हुए हैं, जिन्होंने वो करवाया, उनकी फांसी से पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सब दरवाजे खटखटाते हैं और सारे मिलकर साइन करते हैं कि इनको छोड़ दिया जाए. लेकिन उन 4 लाख लोगों की तकलीफ के लिए किसी को कोई दर्द नहीं होता है, और उसको मिटाना चाहते हैं. सबसे गुस्से की बात यह है कि उसको ऐसा लगता है कि वो बताना चाहते हैं कि ये हमारी हिस्ट्री में हुआ ही नहीं. सो अब ये जो हक्के बक्के रहेंगे पूरी दुनिया, 370 जो है वो हक्के. मैं कहता हूं कि पत्थर जो आर्मी पे पत्थर चलाते हैं, उनके मन में उनके लिए सहानुभूति है, उनमें घुसे हुए हैं वहां पर लोग, और अब धीरे धीरे एक्सपोज हो रहे हैं, बिकॉज देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्गर गवर्नमेंट विच वांट्स टू सॉर्ट ऑफ सी व्हाट हैड हैपेंड ऑल दिस टाइम. So I will go by the theory that you have proposed, that all the ex-army people, services people, PAF, मैं तो कहता हूं हर एक को बोलना चाहिए वहां पर बनाओ अपना, जहां पर सब हिंदुस्तानी रह सके, वहां कभी प्रॉब्लम हो ही नहीं सकती. 5% रह गए थे हम लोग, तो 5% को 95% लोगों के लिए डराना आसान है. But these terrorists also were terrorizing the Muslim community there. I must say that the moderate Muslim people were terrified there. मेरे को एक किस्सा याद है कि उनकी एक हमारे वहां पर कालीन बेचने वाले थे, उनके घर में 2 टेररिस्ट पहुंच गए और उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो तुम्हारी बेटी है, जो पढ़ी लिखी थी, मेडिकल कॉलेज में जाती थी, इसके साथ कल मेरा निकाह हो रहा है.
My God.
Yes, तो वो भी भागे वहां से. और आज कश्मीर की हालत यह है कि वहां का यूथ, आई एम श्योर दे वांट द सेम प्रोग्रेस that the other youth of the country are enjoying. I'm sure they want the better infrastructure. I'm sure they want better life. Their life is in misery. So what these 5-6 separatists do, जिनके अपने खुद के बच्चे फॉरेन कंट्री में पढ़ते हैं या दिल्ली में पढ़ते हैं, जिनके अपना कोई बच्चा टेररिज्म में नहीं है, जिनका अपना कोई बच्चा पत्थर नहीं मारता है, वो बाकी लोगों को 500 1000 रुपया देकर उनसे पत्थर मरवाते हैं. उनको सरकार, मैंने सुना, बहुत पैसे देती थी. जितने भी ये सेपरेट, उनकी तो ऐश थी, वो राजा की तरह वहां रहते थे. तो और उनको अपने बच्चों की, अपनी फैमिली की, उनकी कोई, उनके 2 घर थे, एक दिल्ली में था, एक लंदन या अमेरिका में था, और एक कश्मीर में वो रहते थे, उनको सिक्योरिटी मिलती थी. So there was complete mayhem. So now what is the way ahead? I feel that 100% we cannot ask Kashmiri Pandits who are already terrorized to go and stay there कि हम आपको जगह दे देंगे. How will they live among the same people? How will they live when we still hear the our jawans being killed over there, whether it's Pulwama or whether on a daily basis? जब आर्मी छावनी पर ये हमला कर सकते हैं, तो बेचारे वो मासूम कश्मीरी लोगों को ये क्या कह सकते हैं? So एक पूरा जत्था, एक समूह लोगों का वहां जाना चाहिए, एस्टैब्लिश्ड होना चाहिए, फैक्ट्रीज लगनी चाहिए, होटल्स खुलने चाहिए, और फिर धीरे धीरे मे बी द ओरिजिनल जनरेशन, द फर्स्ट जनरेशन हैव डाइड miserably. Maybe the second generation went out of the Kashmir and have sort of some kind of rooted themselves. But the third generation, the today's generation, उन सबको वापस जाना चाहिए. ये माथे पर तिलक लगा के वापस जाना चाहिए. वो जरूरी है. ये भूलने वाली बातें नहीं है. हिस्ट्री में चैप्टर खत्म नहीं होने चाहिए. कितने सारे चैप्टर हमारे खत्म हो गए. इन्होंने तो अयोध्या को भी बोला था. मेन हिस्टोरियंस ने बोल दिया था कि ये तो नहीं, ये गलत है, यहाँ पर तो कभी राम मंदिर. अभी पिछले दिनों जब निकले वहां पर वो शिवलिंग वगैरह, तो क्या ये मतलब पढ़े लिखे लोग जब दुनिया को गुमराह करते हैं, देश को गुमराह करते हैं, तो बेचारे अनपढ़ लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? So the way ahead is, as you suggested, let other people go there. Let those people who are living there, they also feel financially better, economically better, and then slowly our places should be returned to us. वो खाली मकानों को देखकर तकलीफ होती है. वो वैसे के वैसे रखे हुए हैं, कुछ बेच दिए हैं, कुछ स्ट्रेस बेच दिए. मेरे ग्रैंडफादर का टॉप फ्लोर पर एक छोटा सा मंदिर था. मैं जब भी उस घर में जाता था, वो था नई सड़क पर हवा कदल के पास, मुझे उस कमरे में बैठकर अगरबत्ती की जो खुशबू है, मैं आज भी महसूस कर सकता हूँ. किताबों की जो एक खुशबू होती है, मैं आज भी महसूस कर सकता हूँ. But the last time I went there, it was demolished, bought over by some local person. So ये चीजें वापस नहीं आ सकती हैं. मेरी माँ के बचपन के सपने वापस नहीं आ सकते हैं. जो लोग वहां पर रहते थे, उनकी जो पुरानी यादें थोड़ा, यादों का कोई पुलिंदा थोड़ा होता है. यादें आर नॉट ए बॉक्स कि आपका बॉक्स आपको वापस दे दिया. Memories, you can't put cost of a thing of memories. The hardships, the sadnesses. I still remember हंदवारा में, सोपोर में, वो नदी पे मेरा जाना होता था. वो मेरे मामा मेरे पीछे भागे थे, मैं कुछ झूठ बोल के घर से बाहर गया था कि मैं नहाने नहीं जा रहा हूँ. ये मेमोरीज हैं. तो हमारा वहां पर वापस जाना, और आज के यूथ को इसमें बहुत पार्टिसिपेट करना पड़ेगा. बिकॉज आज का यूथ जो है उजागर है, इसलिए वो लोगों के फ्रॉड्स को एक्सपोज करता है. मुझे इस देश के प्रति पूरा भरोसा है, वो पूरा इसके फ्यूचर के प्रति पूरा भरोसा है. बिकॉज आज का यूथ जो है ना, इट मे कम अक्रॉस एज इररेवरेंट, बट दे आर वेरी प्योर एंड दे आर वेरी रियल. So through this chat, I will request them that help the Kashmiri Pandits wherever you go in going back. And that's all. I mean, there are so many things to say. There are so many things, because I do not know. The tragedy है, उसका क्या कर सकते हैं?
Before I ask our other panelists to ask questions, let me add one clarification, or rather expansion of what you just said. There are about 2 crores ex-servicemen in our country. You know that our military people retire very young, at 45.
Yes.
And then they just sit at home and just watch television. And they are itching for action. They are very keen that their children who are partly grown up, but they go through college and so on, they need a good house, all these. So 5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits and their family were driven out. So I would say that 10 lakh ex-servicemen should be asked that, we'll give you this amount of money, and so that you can meet all your children's expenses, future college, going abroad and studying, all this. But you agree, we'll give you weapons also, and you go and stay in Kashmir for about 2 years, set the thing up. The Kashmiri Pandits should be asked to give the addresses of their houses which they vacated. But many of them have been taken over locally or at rock bottom price, etc. And those houses should be occupied by our ex-servicemen, so that those are restored ultimately. Once this is done, then I can say, and by the way, this is not something which other countries have not done. They have done that. I don't need to give examples. They are right from the communists who are today screaming about Muslim genocide, etc., without talking about the Hindu genocide, which actually took place. Right from that to countries in Europe. Take, for example, Poland. After World War II, what they did, what Hungary did after World War II. So, therefore, these houses are yours, and we are sending people as an advance team to clear the way for you to return. Yes. And therefore, those houses should be taken over, and then they should be there to maintain, to set up the law and order machinery. And then the Kashmiri Pandits should come with their protection. And then over a period of time, I have come to the conclusion, because our Virat Hindustan Sangam organization has many Muslims also in it.
Yes.
And in Kashmir. And some of them are very fierce. In fact, one of them was so enthusiastic that he held a public meeting for me in Lal Chowk, which after Indira Gandhi, nobody has held a meeting. I was the only one, other in 2012. I addressed a public meeting in Lal Chowk and a press conference also in Lal Chowk. So that is the kind of and these Muslims themselves say that the propaganda here is that in Hindustan to आंखें में छोड़ देगा, हम हंस कर लिया पाकिस्तान, लड़ कर लेंगे Hindustan. So that propaganda goes on all the time, that the Indians will ultimately yield. So that we have to show, not only we are not going to yield, but we are going to recover what has been snatched from us. And that demonstration has begun with the removal of the Article 370. And I can tell you that I'm not doing propaganda, but I'll say BJP is the only party who can do it. And the people inside BJP are sufficient to see that this agenda is fulfilled, and this gross atrocity, genocide against the Indian people who are known by the name of Kashmiri Pandits, that is rectified and solace is given to the community.
Yeah.
Jagdish and others.
Sorry, I also want to bring one point which you touched upon. The problem is also, the moment Kashmiri Pandits or Pandits talk about their rights, there are certain section of Muslims who try and tell other Muslims also, see, he's against Muslims. No, just because I am talking about atrocities of mine does not mean I am against Muslims.
Yes,
but
agreed.
This section of people, they भड़काते हैं अच्छे मुसलमानों को भी, because I don't think human beings are bad. People are bad in terms of religion is not bad. But the point is, the moment I say Hindu, Kashmiri Hindu or Hindu, तो उनको लगता है, देखा, Kashmiri Hindu या Hindu means against Muslims. Not necessarily means not at all. We work with everybody, and I said it in my opening remarks also, that there were some wonderful people who helped us. There were some wonderful families who helped Kashmiri Pandits. Yes. But those people who are genuine in terms of their thought process should not listen to these jihadis.
Yes.
Should not listen to these terrorists, because at the end of it, we can be together. And don't, just because I'm talking about Kashmiri Hindu, I am not against anybody.
That's right.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Jagdish and Ramesh and Arvind.
Arvind, do you have any question?
मेरा सवाल अनुपम खेर जी से है और डॉक्टर स्वामी के लिए भी सुझाव है। जैसा कि अनुपम खेर जी आपने बताया कि धीरे धीरे कश्मीर में हिंदू संस्कृति को नष्ट किया गया, और वो नष्ट अपने आप नहीं हुई, उसमें बाकायदा एक योजना के तहत काम किया गया।
जी जी
उदाहरण के लिए श्रीनगर का विचारनाग का मंदिर लीजिए, उस मंदिर को कब्रगाह बना दिया गया, मुसलमानों का एक कब्रगाह बना दिया गया। और शंकराचार्य पहाड़ी जो है जहाँ पे मंदिर था, उसको तख्ते सुलेमान का नाम दे दिया गया। और
एब्सोल्युटली
तख्ते सुलेमान का नाम देके आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे और टूरिज्म डेवलपमेंट कारपोरेशन जो उसकी देखभाल करते हैं, टूरिस्ट के लिए जो वहां पे विवरण की पट्टिका लगी हुई है, उसका पूरा विवरण भी बदल दिया गया। तो शंकराचार्य पहाड़ी, शंकराचार्य का मंदिर जो था, उसका नाम तख्ते सुलेमान हो गया है। अब मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि हम धारा 370 हटा के संतोष मान रहे हैं और जम्मू को और श्रीनगर को, कश्मीर को हमने यूनियन टेरिटरी तो बना दिया है, लेकिन जो हिंदू संस्कृति नष्ट हुई है धीरे धीरे, उसको हम रिकवर करने के लिए, उसको पुनः प्रतिष्ठित करने के लिए क्या प्रयास करेंगे और कब तक कुछ हम कर पाएंगे?
जी अनुपम जी।
जी मुझे लगता है कि देखिए 70 साल लग गए हमको आर्टिकल 370 करने में, मगर वो पहला कदम था, बाकी कदम उठाने में ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लगेगा।
करेक्ट
कि हमारे जो लोग कहते हैं, मैं जैसी नरेंद्र मोदी जी की तारीफ करता हूं या प्रेजेंट सरकार की तारीफ करता हूं, तो लोग आपको डिफेंसिव महसूस कराने के लिए बोलते हैं, अरे तेरी बीवी बीजेपी की एमपी है, या तू बिक चुका है, या तू चमचा है, या तू भक्त है। तो देखिए उससे मुझे कोई परेशानी नहीं होती है, बट मुझे लगता है कि सरकार ने जिस बहुमत से सरकार बनाई है, इनके इरादे अटल नजर आ रहे हैं। ये सिर्फ कश्मीर में नहीं हुआ है, ये तो हजारों साल पहले अयोध्या में भी हुआ। ये बहुत सारी जगह सड़कों पे भी हुआ। ये बहुत सारे जो ये प्लीज अपीजमेंट था, ये तो हर जगह हुआ। ये वापस लेंगे, आना टाइम लगेगा, पर इसी कार्यकाल में धीरे धीरे वापस होगा। बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं, इट्स लाइक जो जिसका मकान है उसको टेनेंट कहे कि तू निकल जा, तो वो कहेंगे नहीं मुझे अपना चाहिए वापस। तो ये थोड़ा कि हम गलत चीज कर रहे हैं। वी आर जस्ट रिक्लेमिंग द थिंग दैट वी। बहुत सारे मंदिर की आपने तो विचारनाग की बात की, बहुत सारे मंदिरों के तो शिवलिंग टूटे पड़े हैं, भगवानों की मंदिरें टूटे पड़े हैं वहां पर, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट दे डू, दैट इज व्हाट terrorists and such people do, because they demolish any memory of that place so that उस नाम से, नए नाम से बुलाया जाने लगे। तो ये तो चेंज होगा, मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है, ये पूरी उम्मीद है, क्योंकि दिस इज a government of doers, not of pleasers. So I hope that it is done. I will be very surprised that it's not done, I'm sure. पर ऐसा भी अब हर सरकार को, मतलब या उनको डिफेंसिव करने के लिए मगर ये तो कर दिया, मगर ये तो करो, आई फील दैट slowly it will take its place.
Ramesh, you have any question?
Yes, I do. I'm more looking at the plight of the displaced people. I mean, so my question is more to Dr. Swamy, and Anupam ji, you can also jump in. The thing is, are they really treated as refugees or just displaced? Because what are their real rights? Do they still exist? So it's more towards that. I mean, how do they protect? I mean, they are protected by the Constitution. So how is that we can make sure that these people go back?
Well, you see, first of all, after partition also, we didn't call them refugees except in the newspapers. We call them displaced persons. And because the Pakistan-India division, there was no question, it was by mutual agreement. The Congress Party resolution was there, the working committee which accepted it. So therefore, they were provided housing, jobs, so many things, you see. So that they can normalize their existence. Now, in our case, it's going back to Kashmir, and then they can't just go there immediately and apply for a job and get a job. That's not the procedure. We have government institutions, central government institutions, and you must open more institutions, more factories, and so on, and then see that these people who come by, they get preference as a reservation to be able to get those jobs so that they can get normalized. And nobody can threaten them if there is a force which is there exclusively for their protection. I mean, the army has so many other duties. You can't ask the army is already there, they can look after. No, this force of ex-servicemen will only look after the Kashmiri Pandits who are returning back to their own homeland.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I feel. But whatever you may call them, Rameshji, the truth is they are victims of
Yes.
genocide in their own country. You can
Right.
put the different names. The today's media, today's people use different words to make it less effective.
Yeah.
You know, today you lower middle class, lower middle class, either गरीब है या अमीर है या मध्यम वर्ग है. अब ये अलग अलग तरीके से सीख लें, बट वो तो विक्टिम है, वो घायल लोग हैं. आप उनको जो मर्जी बुला लीजिए, उससे उनकी तकलीफ या दर्द कम नहीं होते हैं. एज डॉक्टर स्वामी सेड, इनका वापस जाना, इनके बारे में सोचना और उनको उसको व्यवस्थापित करना, ये बहुत जरूरी है और वो होगा, मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है.
Dr. Swamy, just a follow-up one. I think in all of these things, like what today was an excellent program because a lot of the youngsters would have not known of what had really happened to the Kashmiri Hindus.
Right.
Even from in your other project that you have in terms of forming history, I mean, teaching the right history, this should be right on top, teaching the people as to how they suffered and they need to know this.
Yes, I totally agree that this should be in the class books.
Yes.
The story of Kashmiri Pandits exodus should be like in history books.
Yes.
The reality, people from childhood or primary or later school, they should learn. They should know about it.
Yes. Like Holocaust of Jews in German textbooks is there.
Is there?
Yeah, we never learned this, Dr. Swamy. Even in my school years, even now, I don't see it.
Yeah.
No, that's true because you're still reading British prepared books. We have not just changed any of the books. These are, as I agree, one thing with our friend here, I see Kher Saab, that, don't get disheartened by the fact that the progress is not as fast as you would like to see it happen. But it has happened.
Yes.
People told me till the 370 was removed and kabhi nahi hoga, ye sab election time mein aap bologe. Ram Mandir kabhi nahi banne wali hai, ye sab bakwas hai, tum log ऐसे ही इलेक्शन टाइम में उठाते हो फिर उसके बाद भूल जाते हो. So it has not happened that way. So therefore I would like to restore the destroyed Hindu foundation of Kashmir, and therefore in every aspect, including getting the Kashmiri Hindus back, we should also ensure that temples, other institutions which are there, all these are also restored, and that the education system incorporates the history of Kashmir and of India, not from the Muslim period, but all the way from the ancient times, where the Puranas have recorded what was existing up to including the Muslim period, but not in terms of polarized way that is being taught today.
But I must share also one thing, Dr. Swamy, with you and everybody, that, I, for a long time, I thought that Article 370 and Kashmir, only Kashmiris will know about it, Kashmiri Pandits will know about it, or something like that. But I was in New York when I heard this news. The information and the jubilation all over the world of Indians was a proof that everything doesn't need to be vocal.
Yes.
That everybody celebrated. My cab driver was a yellow cab driver from India, from South India. He said, "Sir, congratulations, Article 370 is gone." As if he was a Kashmiri Pandit, but he as an Indian celebrated that. It was some kind of a guts shown by the present government.
Yes.
There is a very famous line, when somebody shows courage, it also strengthens other people's spine also.
That's right.
Yeah, so
it's infectious.
It's infectious. Yes.
Anupam ji, all VHS people we have one example.
Of course. Why do you think I don't say thank you for inviting me to a platform? A lot of people. I'm very thankful to all of you. And Dr. Swamy is a symbol of courage, and he has straightened everybody's spine, and he's also hit a lot of people's spine also. It's wonderful.
We have another question coming up for Anupam Kher ji from Ashish Shetty, who's part of our team, who's a software engineer. He has a question for Anupam Kher.
Yes, Ashish.
Hello, Namaste, Anupam Kher, and thank you for joining us on this program.
Yes.
On behalf of my web team who puts together this program of Tejas, Ishwar, Rakesh, led by Ramesh, and includes Swaminathan and many others who do social media promotions, etc. We thank you for coming on the program. About 7 or 8 years ago, I had bought this book of yours when I was delayed at an airport, and I had never heard of this book before. I thought it is a small book. I will be able to finish it on the flight, and that was my only reason for buying it at that time. But it was really very insightful. So I just wanted to ask you one question that you have answered in that book. A lot of Dr. Swamy's followers and VHS members are in the demographic of 18 to 35, which is also a large part of our population.
Both Dr. Swamy and I are in the demographic of 18 and 35 also.
Yes, at heart, yes. Mentally and at heart.
At heart, at mind, at body, everything. We only cater to 35 people, 18 and 35 people. You don't have
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the question that I've got from them is that, with the current circumstances around COVID, and, a lot of people are uncertain about their futures. They're just coming out of college and in their 20s. So, you have mentioned about the challenges you have faced coming up from a small town and how to get into an industry which was so remote from where you have grown up, I think from Shimla to Mumbai. So you have written a lot about that journey and how you overcame those difficult circumstances. So if you can tell our younger audience on a few things about that aspect of your life.
I'll have to be brief because that will be a completely different program. First of all, the name of the book that Ashish is mentioning is my first book called The Best Thing About You Is You.
Right.
And it is in its 23rd edition or 24th edition, and it's translated into 9 languages, not because it's about my life, it's also because it resonates with everybody. In today's world that tries to make you feel smaller, tries as compared to somebody else has more followers, somebody else has more likes on social media, somebody else is doing better, somebody else is driving a better car. But I think COVID-19 has made it a leveler for everybody. Whether you are living in a mansion or whether you are living in a small house, you are on your own. Before this, I used to always think that I am a very restless person because I want to do so many things. So I will go from here. And in this 66, 68 days that I have been on my own, I discovered that I am not all that restless. I am actually a calm person. So my strength comes from 2 things. One is that I am always wanting to be myself. The problem is people who pretend to be somebody else don't like themselves. That is why they want to be somebody else.
Right.
If you are yourself, even your weakness is your plus point. People frighten you with your own weaknesses or your own shortcomings. So they manipulate you. If you yourself say that this is my shortcoming, that they have nothing to frighten you with. Long time back, my grandfather was once eating and I was a small kid. And my grandfather was making sound while eating. He was saying, so my mother very cheekily said to my grandfather, he said, "Kya babuji, aap kitna awaaz karte ho khate waqt?" So my grandfather's answer was, "Beta, mujhe to maza aa raha, problem teri hai."
Very good. Good perspective of.
So people frighten and tell you, "Taklu, ganja, unpad." तो अगर मैं खुद ही बोल दूंगा, हाँ, I don't have hair, and because some people have hair, others have brains. With all due respect to everybody, but if you tell your problem with your issues, हम छुपाते हैं अपनी जो हमको लगता है कमी, तो कोई नहीं है हमारे में, कोई कमी नहीं है. मैं इस शहर में जब आया था, अभी 3 जून को मुझे 39 years हो जाएंगे यहाँ आए हुए. मुझे अंग्रेजी लिखनी आती थी, मैं अंग्रेजी पढ़ सकता था, मगर बोलनी नहीं आती थी. और यहाँ पर बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स देते हैं. मुझे अच्छा लगा जब मुझे मिस्टर शेट्टी ने कहा कि आप हिंदी में बात करिए. इस मुंबई शहर में मुझे लगा कि अगर अंग्रेजी नहीं आती है तो मैं तो, या आपका प्रोनाउंसिएशन अच्छा नहीं है, तो मैं तो फिट नहीं होता हूँ. मैंने एक दिन डिसाइड कर लिया, आई डोंट वांट टू फिट इनटू दिस crowd. The moment I decided I don't want to fit into this crowd, I liberated myself.
That's right.
The other thing is that I celebrate my failures. I am not scared of my failures. The world tries to frighten you again with the fear of failure.
Correct.
At a very young stage, my father told me failure is an event, never a person. The event fails you. आप लोगों ने मिस्टर शेट्टी को टेंशन था कि ये चलेगा नहीं, ऐसा करते हैं 6:30 बजे हम इसको फिक्स करते हैं, फिर 7:45 बजे फिक्स करते हैं. तो भगवान ना करे अगर कोई गड़बड़ हो जाती तो डॉक्टर स्वामी और मैं फेल नहीं हो जाते, सिस्टम फेल हो जाता. So, which is very good. I know, I like the
Correct.
professionalism of you people, that you really did it very well, and congratulations to the whole technical team from my side. Please congratulate everybody. This is one of the most organized show that I have done. I'm looking forward to sharing, but just be yourself. Being yourself will tell my youth, my contemporaries of between 18 and 35, that just be yourself. That will give you great strength. There is a great strength in being yourself. It is done when you want to be somebody else that you will feel weaker.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes,
much. I'll pass on the good wishes. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And I must thank all of you. This has been a great chat. And अब बहुत सारे लोग बहुत तारीफ करेंगे और बहुत सारे लोग बुराई करेंगे, और मैं तैयार हूँ लड़ने के लिए. जिसके साथ डॉक्टर स्वामी हो और जिसके साथ हिंदुस्तान का पूरा विराट समूह हो यूथ का, उसको किसी से डरने की क्या जरूरत है.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.
दादाजी ने एक और अच्छी बात कही थी before I say bye. My grandfather used to say, भीगा हुआ आदमी बारिश से नहीं डरता.
Correct.
That is on the first page of this book.
That's right.
It is dedicated to my grandfather. Because
right, and I think Charlie Chaplin had a similar comment that I like to walk in the rain because no one can see my tears.
Yes, absolutely. So we have with an organization like this, our future is very bright. So,
Thank you.
Jai Ho at the end of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You must come again and give us the philosophy in full.
Absolutely.
Because this is what the youngsters want.
I would
There's
love
so much uncertainty.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, just a minute before we end our program. One thing definitely I am tempted to repeat, which most of our viewers know, that Dr. Swamy perhaps was the only leader in the country who said that to abolish Article 370 of the Constitution, no majority or no vote was required in Parliament.
Yeah.
Wow.
Campaigning for this for the last 20 years, some people did not take it seriously. But I'm happy this government took note of it, and this was abolished by the same method by which Dr. Swamy, the original thinker, was propagating, that you don't require a parliament to vote. What you require is a cabinet approval and the notification by the president. And that is what happened. And 370 is gone. And there was celebration all over the country and abroad. As rightly as Mr. Anupam Kher ji told us, when he was in London, when he was in New York, the taxi driver also was feeling jubilant about it.
Absolutely. There's a small trivia I want to share here. I did a film called Hindu Sarkar, and I wanted a get-up in that. In one of the scenes, my character needed to. So I researched, and I came across two pictures. One was of Prime Minister Modi, and the other picture was of Dr. Swamy, dressed up as a Sardar during emergency.
Yes, that's right.
He used to travel from one place to dressed up as a Sardar in emergency. I have taken that get-up of Dr. Swamy to use that in that film. Yes.
I just want to add.
That was a superb performance of yours, by the way.
Thank you, Dr.
I just want to add.
It's not that difficult thing to do, but you did it.
Thank you so much. But आपकी वो कहानी है बड़ी, आपका your life has been very romantic life है आपकी, बड़ी exciting life है. Yes.
I just wanted to add that we enjoyed we had got an opportunity to watch Accidental Prime Minister along with Dr. Swamy.
Yeah,
that's right.
They tried, the so-called pseudo-liberals tried to politicize that also. A performance like that, they tried to say, I made fun of him. That is my biggest tribute to Dr. Manmohan Singh. My most difficult scene, if I have to say which are the three most difficult performances of my life, I've done 517 films. Dr. Manmohan Singh's portrayal was one of them. So, but there is a whole machinery which works against you. So doesn't matter. भीगा हुआ आदमी
No.
बारिश से नहीं डरता.
That must be a very small minority.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anupam ji, I think one more difficult role to play. Okay, there is one more difficult role you have not played yet.
Dr. Swamy.
Dr. Swamy is in the two.
Absolutely. I was about to say, आपने मेरे मन की बात छाप. This तो I'm demanding on the live conversation that Dr. Swamy, you will, anybody that comes to you for your life portrayal in the next 10 years also, please tell them I will give you my rights only if Mr. Anupam Kher is doing this role.
Promise made.
ये शो का कुछ तो मुझे बहुत फायदा हो, मगर ये सबसे अच्छा फायदा हो as an actor.
Okay.
Anupam ji, just want to share,
Yes.
you were abroad that day. Dr. Swamy and the VHS team in Mumbai, Maharashtra, a special screening of the accidental Prime Minister with Dr. Swamy.
Yes.
Mini theater at Worli, where we all watched live your the movie, the
Yes.
accidental Prime Minister, and Dr. Swamy was quite thrilled about it.
I was the happiest man when I got his message.
Yes.
I said, अब बाकी लोग भाड़ में जाएं, मुझे डॉक्टर स्वामी का टेस्टेड वो मिल गया, बेस्ट हुआ मेरे लिए.
Yeah, he tweeted about it also, if you remember.
Thank you.
Because Manmohan Singh was my dear friend, so
Yes.
I couldn't believe that it was not Manmohan Singh who was acting in the film.
How wonderful! That's such a great compliment coming from you. That is what that's what is important in life. हजारों लोग बोलें कुछ भी बोलें, मगर एक इंसान आपके दोस्त है. अच्छा, I have never met him also. Never. I only researched about him for 8 months on the video clips that whatever I saw. But thank you so much. It was pleasure talking to all of you.
Yes.
And thank you, Dr. Swamy, once again.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank Anupam ji and Dr. Swamy and our entire team for putting this program together. Words of Wisdom, Gyan Ganga, which we daily air at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time on our Virat Hindustan Sangam channel. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We have another interesting guest tomorrow. That is Mr. K.K. Muhammad. He is the former regional director of the Archaeological Survey of India. And tomorrow's topic is, was Babri Masjid at Ayodhya built where earlier a Hindu mandir stood? This
Nice topic.
topic, as you know, Mr. K.K. Muhammad was part of the Mr. B. Lal's archaeological team which did excavation at the Ayodhya site. So we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. with this another lively debate. Want to tell our viewers that our website is www.vhsindia.org. You can always go and log on to our site. We thank our viewers for your tremendous response on today's social media channels for this watching this interesting episode with Anupam Kher ji and Dr. Swamy. Thank you, Dhanyavad, and Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.